Oh wow, that's terrible. My bot account is a first time chatter.
Oh no. Bear sees it. I'm playing on Lament Beats the World. He knows about that. on Spotify.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and lay that intro down.
Hey.
In 3, 2, 1. We are live. Ooh, we are live. And in living color.
What up, what up, what up, what up? You know what I forgot to do?
What's up?
I forgot to change my scene transition. So you gonna see my Fear the Beard logo.
Oh, hey. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Just a shameless plug.
Shameless plug. You know what you were doing. Well, don't forget to follow me, the Bearded Legend Gaming. Yeah, we see.
Oh my goodness, what is happening, everybody? NTC in the building. First time chatter, welcome in, bro. And Just Crafty, hello, hello, hello. Also D Wade, welcome in.
Welcome in. We got the Bear Project over on the red side. Good to see you, brother.
Gang, what's up, bro?
Yeah. Bear, I got something for you, man. I got something for you. Listen to this. So I took the liberty of creating intros. I did this a long time ago, you know, when people enter the chat and stuff like that. Made him a little something with Devil May Cry 3. I'm pretty sure he appreciates that. He said, what it is?
What it is.
What it is, what
Let me
it
go
do.
get some water. I'm gonna go get some water real quick.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. So, hopefully everybody out there is having an amazing Wednesday. My Wednesday's going fine. It's been a really, really long day. Started it super early. Those of you who know me already know the deal, of course. And 4 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays and Fridays. Hopefully one of these days I won't have to do that anymore. But it is what it is. You know, you got to do what it is. You got to do what it is you got to do, you know, for your people, of course. But how's everybody's Wednesday? Let me know. Bear, good to see you. Crafty. As always, it's good to see you again and again and again and again. NTC in the house. We got people up in here. We got folks here.
We got peoples.
We got peoples, man. Our peoples care. Y'all care.
And we appreciate that you care, that we care for you, that
Absolutely.
You care for us.
Absolutely. Bear says, I'm downloading spooky games to this PC of mine. I need to download some spooky games. I don't know what to download, man. I mean, I got Outlast, Visage, whatever that game was you recommended not long ago. It's a demo, I believe.
Oh, the Dark Hours.
Yeah. So I downloaded that. So I recently just got PlayStation Plus back, which is kind of like Xbox. What is it?
Game Pass? Yeah.
Game Pass. Kind of like Game Pass. You know, you can play a whole bunch of different games and stuff. So I've been kind of like a kid in a candy store with that, just, you know, downloading various different titles and stuff. Knowing I don't have time to play them, but I will. I'm going to make time to play them on the weekends.
That's what's up. And everybody on the Twitch side, if y'all don't mind letting me know if you can hear Initial here. One of my buddies that normally comes into the chat, he was letting me know that Initial sounds a little low on my side, on the Twitch side, but on YouTube he sounds good. So y'all please let me know if he's too loud, if he's too soft, if he's just right. Like Golden Locks and Three Bears. All right, cool.
Just right. Yeah. So let me know if I'm not speaking loud enough. You know, I can turn the volume up some. If I gotta raise my voice, or I gotta turn the interface up, because we want you all to hear. We don't want anybody missing anything. So, and I'm a firm believer in constructive criticism. That's how we get better. If you can't hear somebody, say it. If the stream looks like it's skipping like Malou, then say it. If there's a problem, say it. If you don't like us, say it. Say
it during the stream, not after the stream.
Yeah, don't say it after now. Say it in the chat.
Well, if you don't like us, tell us after the stream. But you know, everything else, all the technical stuff, let us know.
Yeah. Bear says I got 40 games, so 40 spooky games. Oh my gosh. We're looking for a Bear Project marathon, horror marathon.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna tell everybody what I told you earlier. I did tell you earlier about long, like really long streams and stuff like that. It's been a long time since I did a 12-hour stream over on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna do another one on my birthday, which is y'all go ahead and put this in Google Calendar or Apple Calendar or whatever. November the 26th. It's my birthday. Now I don't know if I'm gonna do it exactly on my birthday, but it'll be, somewhere around it. Of course you're gonna remind me, Crafty. Of course. She said, I'm gonna remind you. Don't. Thank you for that. I appreciate your help so much. Yes. So let me turn this music down. Turn it off here. So usually I have music playing for the most part on my streams, but I feel like these streams deserve some silence so that nobody misses anything. So we don't need any distractions. So, bro, how's your week been so far?
Man, it's been really, really good. So the last time we had a podcast, I was in the middle of taking my second exam for my certification for my new job, and ended up passing it. So I am now certified to do the job that I was hired to do. So I've just been learning some of the ins and outs of, the software and everything. And
so let me stop you there. So you've been doing this job without the credentials? They've been letting you do that?
Well, I ain't gonna say without the credentials, because most of the time I've just really been studying.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you take the exams and you pass both exams, then you actually get to do stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
So my boss, she sent me a couple of her stuff that was kind of, small, simple. That way I can get my feet wet, and I got a mentor on our team. So it's been really good. I'm definitely excited about it.
That's what's up, man.
And we just wrapped up with our charity stream for type 1 diabetes. And so that was a big success as always. So everyone that attended, I definitely appreciate you guys.
Yeah, people tend to be very, very, they show up for those type of things, those type of causes. For me, I've had like I had like only two charity streams. Just that's it. I remember a couple years ago, I had a goal. I wanted to do like four charity streams in a whole 12 months period, but I only ended up doing two of them. One of them was for mental health, so that people can afford their people who didn't have the money, who needed like therapy and stuff like that. The money that we were raising was basically going to contribute to those people getting the help that they needed, and for however long that help was going to last. And then the second time I did a charity stream was around Christmas of 2022, and that was to feed starving families in third world countries. And people, like, let me tell you something, like, people just really have a heart for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and even with your cause to find a cure for type 1 diabetes, it's important, you know, because I know that's not cheap. That's something that I'm sure has been studied and studied and studied for many, many decades. And every charity stream I've ever seen you conduct, you know, I always thought it was a success for sure, because you put a lot of time in throughout that time period. Like those, I don't know how many times you do it a year, but that seems to be the time you just really hit the gas and
Yeah.
make things happen.
Yeah. First off, Flash, what's good, bro? Welcome in. First time chatter. Uh, I would say we do. When I first started, it was about 2 times a year. So we
Hmm.
do the one in August, and then we would do one in November because November is technically National Diabetes Awareness Month. But now we got so many other times that we do it. We got one in May called Creators for Cure or Cure for Creators.
Hmm.
One of the ambassadors normally does like a raid train with a bunch of musicians. That's also good. Uh, and then of course the August one that I just did, and then November. And I think they got another one that they normally do. But the main two are really August and November.
Okay, that's what's up.
Carlos, welcome in, sir. How are you doing? How's the family?
Carlos in the house. What's good?
How,
What's
how's
good?
how's the little one?
Good to see you, Flash. Good to see you. The family. Like this is our like core right here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody has their core. You know, we meet so many different content creators, you know, over the course of our journey, but only a select few, you know, become that core center. And it's not like you ask for it, it's just the way that it manifests
Right.
over time, you know, that just that connection and stuff. But we definitely appreciate you all. My week has been decent. Um, Gosh, like what happened this week? You know, again, kids. I've already explained this because it's been 2 weeks since we did this. The
Mm-hmm.
first week was the first week they went back to school, and so they're like, you know, just getting accustomed and getting used to things, and they're all doing pretty decent so far. Tomorrow, I'll be going to the high school. My oldest is high school, open house, you know, just to meet his teachers and, you know, stuff like that, get a feel for, you know, what to expect because he's graduating this year. And just like I'll share this with the chat too, because I already told you guys that a particular university is going to be at the high school tomorrow. And, you know, we got a email from the guidance counselor that asked, you know, have you want to inquire for this for your son? This is a great opportunity to do that. So um, he's almost 18, so we definitely want his take and, you know, his thoughts on things, and we don't want to just we're gonna sign you up and you're just gonna go. It is what it is. Like that's not what we
Right.
want. We want to talk to him about it. So I asked him about it yesterday. I said, "What do you think about this?" He said, "Maybe it doesn't hurt to try." I was like, "Wow!" I was surprised. I was really shocked because he is the type of kid that loves family. He doesn't really want to go anywhere. He wants to do everything here. But that university is not really that far from here.
Right. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got tons of family there, like really like my parents. And siblings, and he would be good if that was the choice that he would make.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is all good. Finishing cooking my dinner. Hey, did you bring enough for the claims, sir?
All right, come on, man. You come over here talking about food and you ain't bring nothing, Carlos. Selfish. Get up out of here, man. Joking. I'm kidding. Or am I? You talk about food
Or
now.
are you right?
I like food.
No, got some bellies here.
Yeah, man.
We
We
got to
eat.
feel.
Gotta eat, man. We need energy. You gotta keep going. It takes energy to do this. It does. It does. So, we're not. I don't want to be too, get into too much chit chat. We tend to do that. Of course, we like to soften it up a little bit. Let everybody know how we're doing. Hopefully, all of you out there are doing great as well. And here we are again. For episode 15 of Two Bearded Guys podcast. And I had to catch myself because I do so much. I almost said l'experience or shameless plug, or other things that I do, which I have another project coming up next month with somebody here in the chat who knows who he is. So that's gonna be hilarious. But this isn't the time or the place. I just wanted to throw that out there. But episode 15, you all see the title: "Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood." Now, that's heavy. That's deep. That's biblical. You feel me? That's some. You don't get no closer than your DNA.
Definitely.
Like you just don't get no closer than that. So, we came up with this title together. We try to do everything together over here on the Two Bearded Guys podcast. But it's a very, very touchy and I want to say emotional subject, especially for those of you who are parents. And even if you're not a parent, I think that your opinion and your thoughts are definitely going to matter, because I don't think it takes being a parent to have an opinion on, the matter that we're going to be talking about today. So you want to go ahead and fill us in, my man?
Yeah. So this video was actually courtesy of Mrs. Bearded. She sent this to me.
Look at her giving us content.
She thought that this would be a really great. We got bots.
Great. We need mods.
We need mods.
We still ain't fix that channel up, right?
Yeah. It is what it is. I'll go back and mess with it afterwards. But yeah, so this video was sent by my wife, and it was very, very touchy. You volunteer? Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead and make Carlos some mod. There you go, man. Jump in the heat of the battle. My man got a spatula in one hand and a sword in the other. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with him. Look how fast you are. Privilege is given. All right, do what you do, Carlos. Take him out.
So the video, I'm not gonna really give y'all too much detail of the video, because we are gonna watch it. It is about it's about a little under 3.5 minutes long, but basically you have a video of two parents arguing about their child. Now their child is, I'm not going to say special needs, but he is autistic, which, I mean, technically most people will associate autism with special needs. But they're arguing about it. And like I said, I'm not going to give y'all too much more detail. We're going to watch the video here in its entirety so you guys can understand points that are being made. And if you guys have points that you want to give, feel free to put it in the chat, because it is a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
I know this was very touchy for Initial with him being a father. Me, I'm not a dad yet, but I know how I want to handle a situation like that. So if y'all are ready for the video, I need to see emotes or ones.
Yeah.
Put ones in the chat. Yeah, put some ones in the chat.
If you're ready to see this
If
video,
you ready.
whether you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, put a 1 in the chat. And get your popcorn ready. We definitely want your comments. We want your perspective, and we want to go back and forth with you all. And also, do us a favor and share the streams. Both the YouTube and the Twitch to your social medias, your Discords. We definitely would appreciate it so much. The support goes a long way. Even if we get one new person in here, it matters. It matters.
Panda, you getting the mod, by the way.
You might as well make Crafty. Crafty want to.
Might well do Crafty as well.
Yeah, all right. We trust y'all.
I have given you the power.
The power. Thank you. Now don't go to sleep on the sword now, Panda. I know.
Panda don't play.
I know Panda's a Jedi. Crafty, you like the grasshopper. You need to get with it. Flash that sword around.
Panda be busting guns.
I see her playing one game or playing the game over here. Mod. Spidey sense. We got bots.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, guys. So without further ado, here goes the video in 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Hey, what's up, family?
Let me know if one of
y'all have to check this one out.
That's why you got headphones. What is this to? What is this to? Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Huh? That's what give me. What about when you don't have headphones on and we at the game, you don't know what I'm trying to play.
What do you mean? You don't know what's going on.
He sounds slow.
I'm talking about my lead. I'm done with it. I'm done with him. I'm done with you. Two different. And you always got to describe differently.
You are a piece of work.
You said I can't go fishing. We can't go to the park.
Piece of something else.
All I'm talking about is what he can't do. You haven't even tried to figure out what he can do. I know everything that he can do. He does all time. He loves computers. He loves computers. He loves technology. He is smart. He just can't do stuff that you want to do, like play basketball and football. Why? Because you haven't shown him how. If you just show him, he will learn. He can learn.
Too different for me. He's just too different. Can't do none of the cake. Barely walk. Barely tie his shoes up. Give him right. He can't do
Oh, nah, he can do everything.
He's just sitting there watching.
You need to do something.
You teach it there. You so good at teaching everybody, son. You teach it. You ain't gonna have to be quiet yet.
I need you.
Yeah, I can't write it, okay? I can't write it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You can't go to the park. I'm not doing none of it, okay? So you can say the tears to your mom and them. Say, Papa, not tears. He's a guy. I'm done with it, okay? He's not a Johnson. You can take my birth certificate. All that. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm done.
I know. Thank you. I'm sick of man. You here talking about our son, which now I don't even know if I want to call him ours.
That's right. You used to that. It's not all your son. Your son. I see you on the street.
You know what? It's not guaranteed that he's going to always be like that. Just know that. It's not guaranteed.
That's so messed up.
Wow.
Okay? I don't like that type of situation.
You are a real person. Wow.
I sit there with him. I try to do homework.
I don't even know how I subject him to you.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't even know what it means. Get it from you.
I'm not going to get street. He ain't nobody me. I'm done with it.
Oh.
I'm done with me. I don't need to be too different. I need to be like, like everybody else on the street.
But you know what?
I need to be like Jordan, LeBron James, something like that. That's the kind of energy we want in this family. I don't know what he
I'm the only person, and I think I would rather be him.
All right, I'm out. I'm done with you, okay? Don't call my phone, because the number will be blocked. And don't even when you see me in the street, you got out because it's too different from me. I'm out.
Bye. Go. Don't nobody
That's why
need
you
you
got
somewhere.
feel like you walk like you got something stuck up your butt. Man, bruh.
Dude. Oh my gosh. Where do I start? How about I start by making fun of him? I start by making fun of this dusty looking, homeless looking loser of a father, man. Dude. The worst part about this whole thing is that the kid was sitting right there the whole time.
There, the
As
entire
if,
time.
yeah. And you could just look at the kid's expression and you could tell that he knew something was wrong. He knew something was off. Because, see, one thing that people fail to understand when it comes to children is that they think that kids don't pay attention to stuff and that they don't know what you're saying or how you're saying it. When people don't give kids enough credit as far as their intelligence. When you're that young, you're like a sponge for information. You're a sponge for knowledge. And that's probably the most delicate part of a child, of a human's life, is when they're a kid, because they're registering, their personality is starting to come together based on their environment, based on what they see, sound waves, things in which they hear all the time. And this is why a lot of people grow up like into angry adults who people just can't figure out as to why they're so angry and why they're so mad. Is because they have childhood trauma from horrible parents like this who say all different type of things or call them out of their name. Like the dude literally, oh my gosh, to say that I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Like let's just go ahead and rewind. Okay, so fatherhood. Number one, we got to remember that children do not ask to be into this world. They don't ask to be into this world at all. And we don't get to choose, how this child turns out. When you make that decision to bring a child into the world, it's all fair game.
Right.
At that point. And it's insulting to a lot of parents who have children who are disabled, because I've seen so many parents, they're in public with their kids. I can't remember the name of the disorder, but it's a disorder to where you yell uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the name of it, but I've seen them, like kids yelling, teenagers yelling.
Probably like Tourette's.
Maybe Tourette's, but I can see them in public trying to calm the child down and trying to make light of the situation. And they didn't leave the kids. They stood there, and I've seen this my whole life. And I've personally never heard a parent talk the way that they did, like this man did in front of his child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We got a lot of comments on this side for sure.
Yeah.
Carlos said, Panda says, I saw this and it made me so mad. Flash, this is messed up. Carlos says, some parents just want the kid to act as if they are grown and know everything without them showing them how to. I do agree with that, Carlos, because, it's almost like, kind of like adults when we first get into a job. They may give us training, but then they just throw us to the wolves and like, all right, you're on your own, kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see your point there. See, I wouldn't beg. Carlos said I wouldn't beg. I would have opened the door and said, "Why are you still talking? Get on the stepping." I feel you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That carried on too long.
Yeah, that was a little bit too long. 3 minutes? Oh yeah, probably about after the first couple minutes. I'm like, all right, this ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Calling him radio is crazy, right? Compared him to a movie. out of all people. But although radio was based on a true story, so but the fact that he called him radio, like that's what really got to me. It's like you really gonna you're really gonna tell this guy, well, compare this kid to radio? Like really? You know? Like that doesn't make any sense. And there's a lot of other people like that. I mean, if you felt like and hmm, okay, if he felt like this, I don't know for how long, but if he felt that way about his son, why didn't he leave early?
Well, according to that argument, he tried. Like he tried, like as if there's a limit on your parenting.
Right.
He said I tried. He said he's not like other kids. He can't do what I need him to do or what I want him to do. Like he kept. It's almost like he was trying to like. He had a desire for his son to relive something through his son.
Yep.
The way he was talking, and I'm like, bro, like.
That's exactly what it was.
That's a whole nother person right there. And you want him to play football, you want him to play basketball, you want him to do all this other stuff these other kids doing, like
Right.
for what? And just because he's unable to do that right now, because she said it's not guaranteed that he's always going to be like this, which is true. Like a lot of times they do develop maybe a little bit later, a little bit delayed in life,
Yeah.
but they do tend to come around and on the lower end of the autism spectrum, because the autism spectrum is pretty broad. It goes from like really low to like low to medium, mid, high, and it just like so. There's a lot of people with autism who got jobs, they maintain relationships, they can drive, they got autism. And they kind of make it as if it's nothing.
Yeah.
While there's other ones that are kind of dependent on parents or a guardian or something like that to get through life. But
Yeah.
he said the dad. It's a shame we even call him like a dad, to be honest with you.
Right.
He said he's not a Johnson. Like take my name off of the birth certificate and all of this other stuff. Like these cowardice acts. Flash, you said something. I want to elaborate on that. You said, I hate to say it, she's at fault to know the type of guy he is. So what, Flash? Let's look at it from another way. What if he wasn't like that when she hooked up with him? Because a lot of times it do be like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to say you knew what type of a man he was, but what if he wasn't like that, like before she got pregnant, because sometimes people switch up. Like they might be straight in the beginning, and then the baby come, and then they see some problems, or they be like, oh no, like this isn't what I signed up for. He probably had all these ideas he was gonna do with the kid, and then all of a sudden he can't do that. But again, like I said, we don't really know the context. We just see what looks like to be the conclusion or like the limit that this man has reached, which is, again, I can't believe I'm saying that. When it comes to your kids, there is no limit. There should never be a limit when it comes to raising your children. Like my kids, there is no limit whatsoever. We've experienced quite a bit with our kids. For the most part, when they were babies, they're fairly healthy children. But there were time periods they were sick. There's time periods they were, we had to go spend nights in the hospital. We've done all of that before, but it never crossed my mind to be like, man, I'm out. I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, what you mean you can't do this no more?
Right.
Like he kept saying, I'm done. I'm done. Like, what do you mean you're done? You can't be done. You brought him into the world. Your job is not done, sir. How could you? And he probably thinks that he's doing the right thing. He probably doesn't think that he's wrong at all, and completely fine with moving forward. When you look really bad right now. Like no real man does that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just kept going on and on and on. And she said something. She said, what did she say? All of the things that he named that he couldn't do. She said, I taught him how to tie his shoe. I taught him this and that. Well, that told me a lot right there.
You ain't teach him anything.
You ain't teach him nothing.
You wanted to teach him how to fish and play basketball and stuff like that. And he still could have taught him how to fish. Because, I mean, he's acting like fishing is so difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but again, hearing the passion in her voice saying that she taught him this and she taught him that, and that if there's something that he doesn't know, then teach him.
Right.
Teach him how to do this. Teach him how to do that.
And she even said he loves computers. So there you go.
Yeah. NCC says, I don't think that most people have the ability to do a whole switch up like that. That essentially changes the whole personality, which is extremely hard to do, even though his response is 100% wrong. She should have taken more time to evaluate the type of man he is. Okay. So I'm not going to disagree with that. There probably was some indicators at some point, or some red flag. I say red flags since that's what we say now. Red flags that, there could be something off about this guy, because just the way he carries himself, you can kind of tell, what type of personality that he has. And I guess that kind of comes back to Flash's point. It's kind of her fault for procreating with this guy. And yeah, look, I say this all the time. We gotta be very careful who you choose to procreate with. And don't just go off of the heat of the moment, man, because you just don't know what type of a nightmare that can turn into. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But this man, first of all, it looks bad. We already got a bad reputation as it is as black fathers. Yeah. And here we have this going, I don't know if it went viral or not, I think it did. Went viral on TikTok. Looking like, trying to make it look stereotypical when it's not stereotypical. The guy clearly is a one case type of person, or whatever the case. But hey, I feel horrible for both the mom and the son, especially the son. Yeah. Of course, because this means that yet again another single mom out here is gonna have to play both mom and dad. Yep. And raise this boy. I have a client. She's a single mom. The dad's in the picture, but it's a weird situation. So she took her son to the park. I think he's like I don't know, 11 or something like that. 8 or 9, something like that. Long story short, took him to the park, throwing the football with him, and all that stuff. All the stuff your daddy should be doing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he not doing this? And why are you doing this? But there's so many mothers out here that stand in the gap for their sons. Like, I know so many moms that take their sons to like football practice and still making it work, by working 2 and 3 jobs and still making sure that they get that masculinity, right. Or that exposure around other men too. Yeah,
because there was actually a video of a woman teaching her son how to play offensive line, like had cones set up and everything, showing him like hand positions, feet work, like footwork, all of that. And it's like, where's the father in this whole ordeal? Now, I mean, there could be many cases while the father is absent. He may not be on this earth anymore, or they got a divorce and she's got full custody of the son. But stuff like that. It really makes you think, like, are some of these fathers ready for fathers in the event that something like this happens, Carlos says it's sad to write this, but there's parents that say this for any child, extra condition or not. That is so true.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are some parents that just don't want anything to do with their kid, right? Whether they're a normal child or if they have you know, a disability or anything like that.
Here's the thing. I don't think that the majority of men are prepared for fatherhood. If I'm being honest, but the woman doesn't have a choice. You know,
Yeah,
she's not really left with much of a choice. She can't just run away, you know, from the pregnancy. You know, she's there. I mean, there's other things that can occur, but you know, at the same time, it's like I just, I just don't think people think this clearly. Think clearly as far as like, you know, again, who you choose to engage in that type of relationship with and bring into this world. Like, I know somebody who has like 6 kids. So, single mom, by the way, 6 children. Three of those children, the father is a deadbeat, which I don't know how. And Flash, I know you're gonna be all over this one, but I don't know how you lay down with the same man 3 times, and he's showing you the first time, he's showing you the second time, the third time's not gonna be any different. And yeah, and then there's the other 3 that are from different men. So it's just a really bad situation. It's just of a case of being irresponsible for the most part.
that is called insanity. Doing the same thing, hoping for a different result.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
exactly what that's called.
yeah, yeah. I mean, fathers like they play such a significant role in not just boys' life, but you know, girls' life too.
Hmm.
When it comes to the boys, you know, the father is the standard as far as what it looks like to be a leader, what it looks like to be a man, what it looks like to be responsible, to take the initiative. And then that's supposed to be duplicated through the son. And for the daughter, she's the standard as far as what she should look for in a man. You
Right.
know, that father should be, you know, putting his daughter up on game, letting his daughter know how much he loves her, the value that she possesses, and stuff like that. Like, a lot of damage can happen to like kids who don't have proper fatherhood exposure. They don't, and just because this boy has autism doesn't mean that. First of all, he don't even know what he's thinking. He doesn't know what he's thinking. He doesn't know what's going through his mind. He just wants to get out of the situation. So let me ask you a question, and Chet, let me ask y'all a question too, because y'all pretty vocal on this one right now. NTC, I see you, brother. I'm gonna read your comments, but let me ask y'all this: why do you think he wanted to get out of this situation so bad? Like, what's the real reason he wanted to get out of this situation?
I'm gonna say this, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You might have a side chick, and
It's
the
possible.
son is his way out.
Hold on, wait a minute. He has a side chick, and oh, okay, the son is his way out of the relationship.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. I think it's because he foresees all of the potential struggles that come along with raising a special needs child.
Yeah, just like Crabtree said, he doesn't want the responsibility.
Yes, I see that. I see him feeling like I can't do any, like speaking in the first tense, I can't do anything.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do that because my son, my son, my son, my son. He's looking at his son as like he's viewing him as a burden to his
Right.
life. So that shows you already his heart is extremely selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really no other reason. We can say he's got a side chick, but what if she gets knocked up?
And the same thing
The
happens.
same thing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Look, I get it when we have kids. You know, the excitement of pregnancy. You think of all these things you want to do with your child when they grow up, but then you know they're born, and then you realize like something's different.
Right. Right.
You know, we're supposed to love our kids regardless of their situation. NTC says even though his response is 100% wrong. Oh, I already read that one. He said
Yeah,
no,
you
he
read
was
that
he was wrong and he knows it. That's why he kept saying he was done and waiting for her to give him the out. Best quote, all children deserve parents, but not all okay.
That part.
Yes.
That part right
yes. 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 I'm so sick and tired of these super fertile ghetto pieces of trash that can just have baby after baby after baby after baby, and then they ain't never there, dropping the kids off at grandma's house, doing other stuff in the street. And he even said that, he mentioned that, he said something about the street, like, I'm going to the street. Is what he was like. I'm like, dude, wow.
So it sounds like that's where he originally came from.
The street. I'm going back to the street. So, case in point, Flash, that kind of brings that brings his point.
That's Flash's point right there.
Yeah, because it ain't like she met him in a law firm and then like that. She met him in the street, probably in the club, smelling like weed and everything. What's your name? What's your number? You know what I'm saying? That's how I go in the hood. She probably didn't have a good male role model to keep her from making stupid decisions. That's exactly what I meant. Like, if you don't have a good father in your life, it's a lot, and this ain't to beat ladies down, but look, y'all know what's up. Come on, don't act like you don't. Women make really poor choices with men if you don't have a strong fatherhood and a father in the house. Really poor choices. Am I saying that can't happen with dad there? I'm not saying that, but the chances are very low. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because in instances like that, these males are just showing you their representative. They're not showing the real them.
Yeah.
They're just showing a representative.
Yeah. Because if done correctly, your kids turn out just fine.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Because he could have easily taught the kid fishing. The kid might have loved it for sure.
What he should have did, or what he should have did, is take away all of his personal desires that he wants him to do. I want him to play football. I want him to carry my name. I want him to play baseball. I want him to do this and that. I'm like, why don't you find out what this kid likes or what he's interested in, and y'all focus on that? Because again, it just really sounds like he's trying to live through he wanted to live through his son. You know, and
you can't tell me that the dad didn't grow up playing video games. You can't tell me he didn't.
Of course.
Because I mean, if the kid likes computers, then that's an easy segue. I'm like, hey, let's get some games on the computer.
Right.
Teach you how to play.
Right.
You know, we'll have that bond right there. You know,
playing some Minecraft, some Roblox, something, anything to try to stimulate those, his mind to to grow. There's always a chance, just like his mom said, like he may not be like this like all the time.
Right.
And even if he is or whatnot, I don't think it should matter.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, we bring these kids into the world again, and we need to take the responsibility for them, regardless of whether they are, healthy or with special needs.
Carlos says some people think being a parent is easy and the good moments happen by default. When in reality, you have to build toward those good moments that turn into good memories. That I definitely agree with. You know, I'll take me for example. Growing up as a kid, my dad was a big country boy. He grew up in the country, so you know, he taught me how to hunt. Work on cars, cause that's what he taught himself. Where his dad taught him, and he taught himself things like that. So, stuff like that sticks with you. You know, um, because let's just be real here. Your father is not going to be there all your life. Your parents are not going to be here all your life. So you have to take advantage and soak in every avenue of reality that you can get. You know, so when you have kids, you can teach that to them. Just and keep handing it down generation to generation. That way your son know how to be a man, your daughter knows how to be a woman. Sometimes the daughters can learn stuff that a man can do. I mean, it happens.
I don't feel like anything is wrong with that. I feel like a
Me
woman
either.
should be able to learn how to change a tire or
Hmm.
hunt or anything like that. Like, she doesn't just have to be prissy, man. Come on.
Right.
Like, teach her how to fight too. Teach her how to fight, man. Seriously, man.
All up.
Some like in some cultures, like especially in like Japanese cultures, man, they all about martial arts, and them fathers be putting their daughters out there at age 5 and making them train for 3-4 hours
Hmm.
just to get the form down right. Like that's what I'm talking about, stuff like that. But yeah, I can definitely attest as far as like parenting is not easy. It comes with its own, even though our kids are not special needs, it comes with its own share of difficulties,
Hmm.
depending on which one I'm dealing with, because we have three. So we got three different personalities, three different points of views, three different people I have to give my undivided attention to, and never have I once said I'm out. Like I don't want to do this no more. Like I don't think I have it in me to even say such a thing, to be honest with you. And even if there was something, wrong with one of them or whatever the case may be, I mean, all right, I'm gonna be transparent because I don't mind. So one of my kids he has a learning disability. So my youngest son has a learning disability. Now this is something that I don't talk about a lot because ain't nobody's business. But because it's relevant to the video, I can talk about it. So I don't know. He's very intelligent. He he's very creative, but when it comes to like academics, he struggles. And it's been like that for a couple of years, and we think that COVID had a lot to do with it, like the pandemic and them learning at home and stuff like that. So we have been to like endless meetings over him. So my oldest son, AB honor roll student. My middle son, AB honor roll student. Surely my youngest is going to be the same. No, not the case at all. So it hurts us. Like we've literally like me and my wife, we've literally had these hard talks. Like we don't understand why is it like this, what's going on, etc. And but we always champion him and encourage him on the wins that he does make. So this year so far he's been improving, and we see the drive in him wanting to improve because we kind of narrowed it down to the fact that he just does not like school. And he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. So it's not like he is, because he's been tested and all. They took all these different tests and stuff to see if had autism. He doesn't have autism. He doesn't have ADD or anything like that. He just don't like to do the work. So he looks at his brothers to see, oh wow, they're doing great in school, they're making A's and B's. I want to do that too. And he kind of sees the response that they get from us, and he wants that same championism to happen to him as well. Again, we basically do the best that we can, especially Crafty. She's really the one that's doing everything as far as like homework goes. But one thing I can say is that we have never, ever, ever considered like giving up on our son. Like we never said, oh, you're just never going to get it. You're just never going to be like your brothers. You're never going to be smart. You're never going to be AB on the road. We have never said that to him. We've always like encouraged him. We've always congratulated him on the little wins in which he's made. And the look on his face says it all. Like he's so happy. And you can see that he's inspired to want to perform better. Last week he brought home a paper and he had 100 on that paper. And I was like, oh my gosh, just really, really making him feel empowered and feel good. And that's what we're supposed to do as parents, man. You don't tear a child down. That kid looked like he may have been about 10 or 11 or something like that. He looked very young. You don't tear a child down. You build them up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you know that they need help, you know that they have some disabilities or some disadvantages, how much of an adult does it make you to just tear them down? You so worried about your family name being carried on. Like, what does that even mean? It doesn't look like it means much to be a Johnson if the rest of them act like you.
Right.
I'm curious to know how his parents were. How was his father? Was your dad even there?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if his father was there and he was any type of father, there's no way he would treat his son like that. No way.
Yeah.
We don't run from hard stuff. We run to it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to, like you say, mom and dad are not going to be here forever. We've already had this talk with my kids. I said, sons, I know daddy ain't old, but I'm going to be old one day. And I'm not going to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? Or God could call me out of here sooner. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I leave a lasting impact on them. While I'm still here and while they're still here and while we have a close connection. Because everything that you said your dad did with you, you still remember it and you can still apply it to this day. And that's the same thing I'm aspiring to do with my sons.
The only thing my dad didn't teach me was sport. He didn't play sports.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, I didn't either. I didn't play sports either. I played basketball here and there in the neighborhood, but
Yeah.
I'm really was never a big sports head.
But the greatest thing about it is, like, he might not have played sports, but he would play with me. Like he would play video games with me. Like his favorite video game when I was young was Donkey Kong.
Nice.
All I would say is, hey dad, you wanna play Donkey Kong? He'd come right in there, start playing with me. All that good stuff. So I mean it really, when it comes to fatherhood and your child, it is definitely, do I want to use the word imperative? I don't know if I want to use the word imperative.
I don't know.
I don't know how I want to put it. But I guess basically what I'm trying to say is really, you really have to be there in your child's life. Like Carlos said, extra condition or not. Because, I'm going to take me for example. I'm not a dad yet. Not saying that we're pregnant now, but, in the future.
He's working on it, y'all. He's working on it.
In the future, when we decide to have kids, I always have that thought in my head. Okay, I'm diabetic. It was technically hereditary. Is my kid going to have diabetes too? But regardless of if they have diabetes or not, they're going to have a great mentor because I know how to deal with it. So it's like, you might have this in your life, but at least if your child ends up being diabetic as well, it's like, okay, we can handle this because, I'm diabetic. My wife, her dad's diabetic, so she knows what to do as well. So we can basically teach that child and help that child when they're struggling. So yeah. And Carlos, you have been chatting it up, bro. I appreciate it. Everybody's been chatting it up. This is awesome. I appreciate y'all for sure.
Facts. NTC said your son doesn't like the rat race. He sounds like the smartest of all the kids. Okay, so I don't want to make it too long, but I'll just kind of give you what I've gathered on this subject. I've been doing a lot of research on like just academics and stuff like that, and just as you say, the rat race or just Western academics and education. We live in an educational system, or we're in an educational system that says you're smart if you make A's, you're stupid if you make F's. That's basically what they're impairing, because nobody celebrates those who make D's and F's, but we always celebrate those who make A's and B's. But there's a lot of people that make A's and B's that still make terrible mistakes in this world, and there's other people who may be like a C student or a D or whatever, and they're great people. He is extremely creative. Now, all of my kids are creative. Every last one of them. The oldest is potentially going to college for graphic design. His brother, my middle son, that's behind him, emulates him. He likes what he does, so he makes comic books. That's what he does. He sits there and makes comic strips, which was the same thing I asked my oldest son if he wanted to do, but he wasn't interested in that. So my middle son picked on to that. My youngest son, let me tell you about him. He does something that neither of them do. So remember I told you about the the Five Nights at Freddy toys? The plushies and stuff like that. Them things are like $40, $50, man. And I told my youngest, I'm like, son, I'm not finna be buying all these plushies, man. So he knows how to use the printer. We have like a couple of printers here at home. Printer, markers, scissors, clear tape, and you won't see him for a couple hours. And I used to wonder, like, what are you doing? And then it dawned on me one day. He said, I just looked at this big box of like just characters that he made with his hands. He drew the characters on paper that he wanted, the same plushies, put them together. I gotta find one. I'll find one. Let me see. Nick, come here. I'm gonna show you this. Can you bring me one of the things that you made? Bring me one of those things that you made.
And while we are waiting on that, guys, remember, we are live on Twitch and YouTube. If you are over on the YouTube side, make sure you go over there, drop us a follow, subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment. We appreciate it. And if you're new here on Twitch, drop us a follow. We are on the road to 50 followers, hitting affiliate. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you. And that's dope.
Look at that.
That is dope.
His reasoning.
That's the dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just showing off your stuff. We're talking about we all good things we saying right now. All good things. But okay, y'all can go back in there, baby. Thank you. He said the reason I make these is because I don't have like the real ones.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Now that's something that I would have never thought of doing when I was a kid. Yeah. I just wouldn't. Yeah. NTC says the best thing my father did for me was not being in my life. Ooh. So I'm assuming it inspired you to be better. All my brothers and sisters on my dad's side have been to prison. Compliments of my father's influence. Oof. Grades mean nothing. My wife was valedictorian in college. I dropped out of high school, yet she always ask me for answers. I say, hey man, try college education. Don't have all the answers, man. And sometimes street
Hey.
smarts get the job done.
They say C's get degrees, so
Yeah, what's up, Aqua? Good evening. Just got off of my second gig. Welcome into the stream. Mrs. Bearded in the house. Hopefully you had a great evening too.
meh.
But as you can see, even though my son is not like academically, yet that is, because I think this is going to be a really good year for him. Even though he's not like academically there yet where they feel like he should be, he has so many other good qualities that they just refuse to highlight. And I think that's unfortunately the American school system.
Yeah.
Again, if you don't make A's and you don't make B's, you're whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Like a lot of school. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot. I mean, I feel like some schools don't really reach your creativity side, so to speak.
Go ahead.
'Cause I mean, like you could be a very creative person. Like, with the example there, I mean, he would crush it in art.
Oh gosh.
He would absolutely crush it in art. But teachers are only taught to teach your child math, English, history, science, and but you're not helping me be creative in learning that stuff. Like, I mean, right now I've seen a lot of TikTok where teachers will take like popular songs, and that's how they would teach their class like math.
Yeah.
That's creativity. That's how children these days learn.
Yeah.
They don't learn by, okay, open your books to page 15. Let's talk about the Pythagorean theorem.
Right.
You have to be really creative when it comes to teaching, children.
I'm gonna share a picture. Hopefully it shows up on the camera. If it doesn't, then maybe I can just send it to my email. But check that out.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Y'all see that?
Up, back away a little bit, or turn your brightness down.
Okay. Maybe I'm gonna if I turn the camera off. I mean, not the camera, but the light. Hopefully it's gonna be too dark. Oh, just for a second, y'all. Y'all see? Can y'all see that?
That is really great. Yeah. Yep. Public education is not what you think it is. Yep. I agree.
I sent this to my wife, and she's like, "Yep, exactly." So that's why we just refuse to allow public schools to just make us feel like our child's, he's not improving. I'm like, look, he does so much better at home, where he's comfortable and stuff like that. And he's, when he's at school, it's another story. He does have a really good teacher this year, though. His teacher was my middle son's teacher, and she helped him a lot. And he has a lot of support. Like, his brothers support him. It's not just us. He's got, support all around to make sure that, he's, doing what it is he is supposed to be doing. And like I said, we're a family, man. You don't abandon a member of your family just because it doesn't look the way that you want it to look or how you think it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Does anybody else have any other comments? I know there's been a lot of chat going on here.
NTC says, if you judge a fish by how will he climb a tree, he will always think he's worthless. Right? Because it ain't happening.
Right.
Yeah. Carlos says that's the world. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess you're right. That's the worldwide archaic system, which is never going to change, by the way. it's just not gonna change. But this isn't really about school. I mean, that could be like a topic one day. We could talk about just general education and how far does it really get us in life. Because a lot of people think education starts and stops in school, in college, when that word actually means to educate yourself, to inform yourself. And there's so many different other avenues you can do that with, of course. Even though my oldest has a invitation to inquire for a university, we're still not going to push it on them. We're going to be like, if you want to, great. If you don't, let's look at our options here as far as, what you can do. Because some parents, they don't do that, man. They just push their kids just so they can say, I got a college student, or my kid has a bachelor's degree, or my kid this, and my kid that. I'm like, well, I'm not saying that's not something you shouldn't like celebrate, but, why do you really want them to do that?
Right. Because like we were talking about with the video, they're living vicariously through the kid.
Yeah.
Or they want to live vicariously through the kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So this whole situation is sad, man. It really is. I feel, all parties involved, like the father, or if you want to call him that, if his son grows up to be, freaking filthy rich one day, that video will always, somebody's gonna save that video and be like, yeah, just keep this, just in case you make it in the world. Just remember your dad said this.
I want to comment on the video and be like, hey, when he grows up and becomes very successful, I need you to do an update on TikTok so we can all see what happened.
Yeah. I've got a lot to say about this, but still driving. I'll be shutting down in about 20 minutes if y'all are still going.
I think we probably got another 10 minutes in us.
Yeah. Honestly. I mean, this is a pretty clear cut just reaction, honestly, man, because it's not hard to know that, what this guy did was extremely cruel and wrong. But I definitely understand, as a parent, I have a lot to say too. What Michael Jackson said it best, like if you can't feed your baby, don't make a baby. If you can't take care of your baby, don't make a baby. And that's gonna be a future episode because me and Crafty had an interesting conversation earlier about that right there with people and how people put themselves in really bad situations because of the poor choices that they make at the end of the day. So, does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, questions, comments, complaints.
Carlos says, there's a lot of stories about children going to college, getting a degree, and then hand it to the parents and go do what they wanted. Ooh. Wow. Go to college to have crippling debt. Yeah, I got a streamer buddy. We just talked about this last week. My man is like almost 40. And he been in debt for 14 years.
Oh my goodness.
Student loans. 14 years. I mean, I'm not saying going to school is wrong. I'm not saying it's right. Whatever you feel that you want to do, you go ahead and do it. I don't have any student debt, honestly. I didn't go to college. And I know back in the day, it used to be uttering those words or something you just didn't say. You didn't go to college. Like, no. I didn't go to college. It was a personal choice for me. Had nothing to do with, like, not wanting to be in debt. I just didn't think it was for me.
Yeah.
Some people, unlike my kids, especially my oldest, He was a lot better than me when I was his age academically, and I didn't really like school too much. I just was ready to get out of school. So I know what I'm gonna do with my life. I got some choices I'm gonna make, and ended up where I am right now. By the grace of God, of course. My opinion: a bad father is worse for a child than no father. Yeah. Okay, I can see that because the toxic traits, the bad tendencies and habits being poured into that child from that bad father versus an absent father where all of those bad attributes are not present. So I get it. It sucks both ways. But at least that the son won't be anything like the dad.
Yeah.
And there's some guys that were raised in single parent households that turned out fine.
Fine, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bear says, as a parent, there is so much I can say. Speak, bro. Go ahead, because we pretty much done said our piece.
Yep. And then even if you're on YouTube, y'all can always leave a comment after the video's posted. So
yeah. It's because we're not just on Twitch, we're over on YouTube too. Comment, share. Let's get this conversation going because again, this is just one case. Like I'm sure there's like other cases out here that are like that. King Darius says, let me see, a bad parent father. A lot of these mothers think just because it didn't work out with them that the father is bad. There are some vindictive women too. There are definitely some vindictive women out here some men that actually do want to be dads, that actually do want to be in their father's and the kid's life, and they try to make it seem like the dad is the bad guy. I know there's women out here that do that. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's both males and females can be wrong on this end. Both of them. I've heard stories on both ends. Like I've seen dads go fight court cases to get custody of their kids. They didn't just let the state do what they wanted to do. They was like, nah, man, I'm getting my kids, and they get the lawyer up and take her to court and make a case. And one brother I know won. He got all his kids. Dude, like how many kids? Like 7 kids, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, 3 from a previous marriage. The woman he married had 3. Mm-hmm. Had 2, I think 2. I don't know. And then they had 2 together, so they got like 7 or 8 kids, something like that. Something like that. But he fought for his kids. Honestly, grades mean nothing. Being book smart is only one aspect, right? Only one aspect of life. Back then, college was a goal. Now you can't even work a great job with a degree and you're swimming in debt. Yeah. Dude, it's a lot of people that got masters, bachelors that can't even get their foot in the door of the career field in which they majored in. This is how the world's always been. And I told my son this too. Sometimes it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
If you know the right people, you can get your foot in the door. You can.
Yep.
And you don't even have to be qualified. And that's the part that sucks right there. Like, people getting their foot in the door that's not even qualified versus the people that went to college for like 4.5, 5 years that know everything there is to know about the field that they're in. Mm-hmm. So, it's actually more prevalent than you think, especially in the black community. 90% of the time, the kids go with the mother. Oh, man. That bothers me right there. It does.
Yeah.
Because King, we talked about just how important the father is in the home, how much influence the dad has over both son and daughter. Because a lot of people think, oh, the daughter, the mama's there. Like, no, she need dad too.
Yeah. Yep.
She need dad too. Bear says, We have to teach kids to be better than us. That's the goal. I was raised in a single parent home. My story is known. I started out fine. My mom did a great job, and my dad did good for the time. The time is so different. Yeah, the time he had. The time is so different. When I grew up, the neighborhood raised us. Your neighbors told your parents if you were acting up, the drug dealers straightened you out. That was definitely a different time period. We talking about the 90s, right? We talking about the 90s.
Definitely the 90s.
We talking about the 90s. We talking about the 90s. Yeah.
Definitely the 90s.
Dope boy. Go to school, boy. Get out these streets. They used to really say that though. They did. They was like, get out these streets. You don't want this.
This is not the life you want.
No, this ain't the life you want. And I've heard that.
Ooh, it's just like, the documentary that you sent in the group chat,
yeah.
the one that I told you I watched.
Yeah.
That's how they were responding. They were like, stay in school. You don't want this life.
Yeah.
Blase. So
Yeah. Exactly. The system doesn't care about men, especially black men. A lot of these women are wild because their father wasn't present. See? Daughters need their daddy. Daughters need their fathers, man. They really do. The criminals grabbed you by the collar and said, you keep your head in them books and out them streets. Yeah. Yep.
Because, they, I don't think I've seen a full episode, but I've seen clips. But the show Beyond Scared or Scared Beyond Straight or something like that, where they take the troubled kids to the prison.
Yes, I've seen that. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you sending me to this place, and I'm seeing how you living, and y'all are basically telling me you don't want to come in here because if you come in here, I'm you're mine. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Like, bring your booty here.
It's like, yes, sir. I'll stay out.
Right. You don't want that. You don't want that,
man. Beyond Scared Straight. Yeah, Beyond Scared Straight. That's what it is. Carlos said them neighbors be ratting you out. Man, look.
Neighbors keep you out of trouble, man.
They gonna make sure your parents know.
It was a lot less child abductions, too. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it was a lot less than that because if your mom or daddy wasn't there, they was your parents. Yep. Them eyes, your neighbors, they was your parents. They set you straight. The dope boy on the corner was your big brother. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Get up out of here. So unless you Ray from South Central.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, unless you Ray. Jimmy, don't be like your father, Jimmy. Get that gun. Bust on them, Jimmy. Deuce for life, Jimmy. Deuce. They need to put that movie. They need to show that movie in high school classes. They need to show all those movies in high school class. All the 90s flicks, Boys in the Hood, South Central, Don't Be a Menace. They need to show all these movies that... You ever wonder why they don't make movies like this no more?
Cancel culture.
They all had a message. Mm-hmm. Every last one of them had a message. Yep. I'm telling you, man, more content coming to mind. More content right here, man. Listen, when it comes to fathers are so important. That single father home do the same as yes, I agree. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. It hits different when dad is the only parent versus when mom is the only parent. It's not the same. Right. It's like they always say a woman can't, and this is no disrespect to nobody who grew up in a single parent home, but they always say a woman can't raise a man. Can't raise a boy to be a man. She can't. She can raise him to have good manners. She can raise him to have good tendencies, to be respectful, all of those different things. But if you don't know how to be, if you're not a man, how can you teach a boy how to be a man? Versus when it's a single father, that's a no-brainer when it comes to the boy. But can a man teach a girl how to be a woman? He doesn't have to teach her how to be a woman. Again, that's
You gotta teach
naturally,
them how to be treated.
yeah, teach her how to be treated. That's it. What you should look for in a man, because you're gonna have these desires one day, and this is what you need to look for at the end of the day. So, well, I know what my kid just got home. I need to hear how his time at church went. So, fire episode, folks. Y'all really y'all are the VIPs, man. Seriously. Yes. Y'all are all the VIPs. Let me give y'all some CPU love. From the YouTube side. If you're watching this on YouTube, I know you hear it.
All the computer love.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hear on this side because I don't have. I'm just saying.
Come over to the red side if you want some special treatments. Like, look at him. He gonna wait till next week. He just wait.
You just wait.
All right, folks. We appreciate y'all support so much. Again, it's when the chat lights up like this. This is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's all about. So, any last words tonight, bro?
Thank y'all. Like, real talk. I mean, y'all been here since we started this back up. We've seen some new faces. We've got, new follows, subscribers. The fact that you guys come in here and, interact with us means a lot. Especially on topics that we think are very important to all of us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. Because I know he and I have been talking about bringing it back, but we've also had other people talk about us bringing it back.
Yes. Absolutely.
And not to pat ourselves on the back, but we were voted best podcast.
Oh, y'all see that, right? Y'all see, y'all. I know y'all. Whether you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube, y'all see that little emblem. Don't act like y'all don't see that emblem right there. It says best podcast certified stream team of 2023, and we probably gonna be 2024 too.
We're doing it. We're trying to do something big. We're trying to make moves, and I'm gonna just throw it out there. I'm gonna just straight up say it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, y'all know that we went to DreamCon. We're definitely going next year.
Right.
But our goal for DreamCon next year, we want to host our own panel.
Yes.
And we cannot do that without you guys' support. So definitely share on YouTube, share on Twitch. Every time we go, everybody knows we go live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you mark that in your calendar, in your phone, make sure you get our links and share it to everybody.
Yeah.
Because we talk about everything over here. It's not just one thing,
Right.
So that is our goal. We're trying to get a panel for DreamCon next year.
Right.
So we're going to be very, very consistent in hitting the pavement on this.
King Darius says Big Dog had to come support. Love you, bro. Keep going.
Yeah. Love you too, D.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and just to follow up with you, what you all see here is what we're aiming for at DreamCon next year. To be able to have a panel, we're going to come prepared on obviously, but the idea is something that we spawned upon us between the two of us thinking, because we do talk a lot, to put these talks together and these podcasts together. But we have a goal of getting there, of course, not just attending, but just really being in the mix there, mingling and networking. So, and again, like he said, we can't do it by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need your help. We need y'all to just go ahead and and share them links and like the streams and chat. So, and we will always give credit to where it's due to the supporters out there that help us get to where we need to, because, content creators ain't nothing without their viewers. Y'all all had long days working. You probably got kids and you're tired, but you're here. You're here. Are y'all going to have a panel where others can come up and rebuttal?
So the panels that we went to, one of them that we really enjoyed was called Anime and Mental Health. So during the panel, some people had comments about, the certain things that they were asking. Then they opened up the floor like 10 minutes before the panel was over with. And they opened up the floor for people to have questions, comments, and things like that. So I guess you could say yes, So
yeah, it wouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah, I don't know. Because honestly, when we first started talking about it, I had like a really great topic.
Yeah.
A really great topic.
It's difficult now, but it's healthy to get both sides. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because people got different perspectives on topics. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like, neither of us really, we're not here to like steamroll people. Like some people just have, it's my way or no way, or it's my thoughts and that's it. Like, how are people going to grow if they don't see the perspective? As long as it's respectful from other sides. Like, it's like people are afraid to like go back and forth with each other.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that way. So we're definitely going to be welcome into that at that time period.
Yeah. And then of course, I mean, most of y'all know we are Christian men in here, so everything that we say on this podcast is coming from love. It ain't to out nobody out.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Well, that's gonna do it, y'all. We appreciate y'all's support. The almost said the bits. The bits. We appreciate the love, the comments, the like. Thank you so much. We will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. CST. Twitch, YouTube, wherever side you decide to go on. It doesn't matter. We really appreciate it. So, who knows? Maybe in the future we can get another platform going as well. Just if that's something that we decide to do. We're also on all social media platforms: Instagram, X, TikTok, at Two Bearded Guys, spelled with one word. And just follow us on all platforms. That's the best thing y'all really can do for us, honestly.
We try to post at least 1 or 2 clips a week. So when we do, I don't have too many commands over here yet, Carlos. We're both gonna have to work on some stuff.
Yeah, we'll work on something.
But we try to post at least 1 or 2 clips a week, and it really helps us out when you guys like and comment and share, especially on TikTok. Like, we've been blowing up on TikTok. We've only made we only have 3 clips, and one of them is just me just announcing that we're going live. But the other 2 clips from our past 2 podcasts have hit over 1,600 views. So we're definitely getting it pushed out there for sure.
Right. So just as you say, Ken, we're gonna keep it going for sure. So, but all right, everybody, y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully, y'all have a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully, if you don't have to work, and if you do, go ahead and make your bread and do what it is you do. So, we will see y'all in the next episode. All right, y'all.
Peace
out.